To understand the game that's being ran on you, you have to get the racism out of your heart and mind. Once again, you got to get the racism out of your heart and your mind. And you have to get away from people who are indoctrinated by the Nation of Islam and other groups to say the white man is the devil, the white man is this, the white man is that. I'm going to explain to you why that's not the case. And then I'm going to explain, let me just explain it, right? So to the left, you have white persons. To the right, you have free white persons. Once again, to the left, you have white persons. To the right, you have free white persons. Free white persons to the right is when they started the racial classifications. That means anything under the white race is inferior, subservience, right? White persons to the left meant, let me scroll down here to the bottom. I might have to zoom in. I might not have to, but this yellow highlighted area at the bottom, right? Whether applicant for United States citizenship is a white person eligible for a citizen under statute enumerating classes of people eligible, therefore depends not upon ethnological classifications of group. Once again, it depends not upon ethnological classifications of groups to which he belongs, but upon whether members of such group with characteristics existing in 1790 when statute was first enacted were intended by Congress to be classified as white persons. It had nothing to do with racial or skin complexion. There were colored people also listed as white persons to help y'all with genealogy as well, right? This is why for some of y'all see white on a lot of y'all people records going back, right? To the early 1800s or, to the early 1800s or to the mid 1800s, right? You will see them listed as white. It had nothing to do with ethnology or ethnicity. It had nothing to do with ethnicity or race. Y'all just read it, right? But to the right hand side, this is where you have these people pushing it as race and making it seem like one so-called race is above all so-called races. But even with that, right, it is separating itself from the Caucasian race. So the free white persons is separating themselves from the other pale skins, right? I'm gonna just say pale skins, the other pale skins. All this shit is a game. It's ideology. Not this is not a racial game. Let me hate this white person, that white person. No, this is the ideology game. Your enemy uses ideology. That's why I said you got to get away from people pushing the white man as the devil. They was created 5,000 years ago, and the whole white person shit, the racial shit was created in the late 1800s, between 1870 to 1875. This is the timeline we're dealing with. So with that being said, when you're reading these books and they're talking about BCE and ABC and CE, CTE and all this, nigga, all that shit was created in the mid 1800s. So between 1850s up until the 1900s, I'm gonna say up until now. If you're reading those books from the 1800s, those are trash if they're talking about race. They didn't got you out your own ideology of freedom here in what is called the United States of America. They got you out your Constitution. Go read your Constitution. So they put these ideologies and religion on you. This is the game. This ain't the race game. The race game is a part of it because this is what they created as their ideology, and you're falling into it by calling yourself Moors, Africans, and Hebrews. All this shit is fake. It's fake. So once again, you have white persons to the left that meant, people being an applicant for citizenship, right, in the United States. Is a white person eligible for citizenship under statutes enumerating classes of people eligible therefore depends not upon ethnological classification of a group. So once again, white person on the left hand side was not about race or ethnicity. On the right hand side, it was about race and superiority. But you can't say all white people are the devil, all white people are the same. No, man, get up out of that. Get up out of that. This is not about the race game. There's no such thing as race. If it is, it's only the human race. Everybody can mix with each other if they wanted to. But this is not the race game. This is about ideology. This is about the religion game. They're trying to strip your constitutional religion, right? Your beliefs. Because your personal beliefs is your beliefs, but our ancestors wanted all of us to be under Indian, right? Those who believed in freedom, they wanted us to be under Indian. We created the United States of America. Go read your Constitution, it says it. But if you're going to be playing these games, the race game, then you're no different from the people that you're hating because you're participating in the game. But if you don't participate in the race game, then you ain't got no hate in your heart, which means these people are irrelevant. And so is their belief. But if you believe in it, like the old, what is it called down south in Louisiana, when you believe in something, certain spells, you know what I'm saying? When you believe in certain spells and certain witchcraft, then it comes true. If you believe in it, you bring it life. Y'all better stop playing these games. They're playing with you. They are playing with you. I'm about to show you something else too. Watch this shit. War been started. Y'all just late to it. The war been started. The moment we was having these discussions from what 20 is for me since 2010, 2011 up until like 2000, that was just the beginning of the war for them to see, do these people still remember who they are? And it was people like myself giving out information to help people remember who they are. Go get your family records. Remember that? I used to tell y'all, get your family records. Then I followed up with learn the Constitution. Then I followed up with learn the treaties. Right? See, now the war is at your it's in your state. It's in your state, damn near at your front door now. It's called socialism, communism. It's here. Right? So let's begin, right? So let's start with this here. This reading list provides context for the Red Nation's indigenous socialism. Many of you didn't even know there's a socialism within this so-called indigenous shit, right? Let me continue. Socialism is the process of being able to live as indigenous again. Let me stop right there. That sounds good, right? Socialism is the process of being able to live as indigenous again in full collective determination of our present and future. Communism fulfills all the begets life on Mother Earth through the overturning of all forms of private property. Now remember, if the goal is for us to identify with our tribes and nations and come back for the land, socialism is against that. But you're not going to understand it until I continue to read, right? So it says pieces that are bolded are those we recommend you start out with. Let's scroll down. We could skip this part. Y'all can read, revolutionary socialism is the primary ideology. Like I said, this ain't about racism. The fight is about ideology. We're going to start where it says this. Let me highlight this. Y'all should see it already. It's in bold. Communism is the horizon. Queer, indigenous feminism is the way. So I've been telling y'all for a long time, many people, they were mad at me because I said, I seen what they were doing. They were talking about, the two-way spirit, jellybackism, that American Indians practiced that. No, we didn't. I told y'all, no, we didn't, right? Then a lot of these people were saying, oh, this is a matriarch. We the matriarch. And then you had a lot of their jellyback dudes that's following behind the women, because, they don't get, pussy. I'm going to keep it real. They don't get pussy in real time. They're not real men in real time. So, any way they could get close to women, they'll follow women. They'll follow them, even the negative women. They'll follow them and do what they say. Right. So they were introducing feminism through matriarch. Matriarch and matrilineal are not the same. Once again, matriarch and matrilineal is not the same. Matriarch is feminism. So they was telling you, oh, the women ruled the tribes. Whatever the women say, the people had to do, and that's a lie. That is a lie, right? That was a lie. But let's read this. Communism is the horizon. Queer indigenous feminism is the way. What the ruling classes call chaos is the inevitable cycle of a world able to survive only on violence against people of the earth and the earth itself. All of this shit sounds good, right? Well, you got to keep reading. In this statement, the Red Nation, not the Choctaw Nation, not the Cherokee Nation, not the Seminole Nation, not the Iroquois Nation, not the United States as a whole, all the tribes and citizens, not our nations, but the Red Nation, communism, socialism, TRN. The Red Nation declares that we stand with and move with the people as we move together with the earth. Where have the masses gone these past months? We are living with a pandemic. Our relatives have died. Their proximity to premature death made ever more visible. It is no coincidence that within the United States, the workers, the dispossessed, and the black, brown, and indigenous masses. The black, brown, and indigenous masses. Who would be the indigenous? See, we already know. See, this is where they make their mistakes. We already know that the so-called black is the Indians. Now it's time to get away from indigenous because they're co-opting indigenous, right? We're right here. Let me see. We left off right here. Half communities are on the streets carrying the torch as the revolutionary moment flares. We have seen the domestic imperial forces burn. It is a time of extreme clarification. We are changed. This statement reflects this change. It goes on to say, we're right here now. Another Side of Me by Lee Miracle. I am a woman. A woman represents Miracle's personal struggle with womanhood, culture, traditional spirit beliefs, and political sovereignty, written during a time when that struggle was not over. Her original intention was to empower Native women to take to heart their own personal struggle for Native feminist being. The changes made in this second edition of the text do not alter her original intention. It remains her attempt to present a Native woman's sociological perspective on the impacts of colonialism on us as women and on herself personally. Go look up this Lee Miracle. Look it up, right? Let me go on. Where's it at? Where's it at? Before I continue, hold on. There was something I want to show y'all to prove a point. So all these, we have a lot of so-called black feminist sellouts, indigenous sellouts. Hold on, let me go get it. I gotta show y'all. Okay, so here it is. This is here we go right here. Free woman of color. Free woman of color. Up to the time of the Civil War. Up to the time of Civil War. When was the Civil War? When was it? Was it in the late 1800s? Right? Mid to late 1800s? The Civil War? When they started talking about the race thing, the whole race classification, right? So let's read it again. Free woman of color. Up to the time of Civil War, meaning you were free when you were with your tribes, your nations, your men. Applied to all persons not of the white race, including Indians, free women of color, up to the time of Civil War, applied to all persons not of the white race, including Indians, free women of color. Keep reading it. Keep reading it. So when they're trying to indoctrinate you about all women had it bad, all women been victimized, all women this, all they're putting you in categories, no different than the African American term being put on all people of color. You see how that works? You see how that works? So our women, our Indian women, have to check these women. They have to. Because if the men are checking the other men, the invaders, the socialists, the communists, our women got to be able to separate themselves from these feminist and communist groups as well. Remember, we work as a team. We're a nation. What is a nation? We're tribes. What is a tribe? Togetherness, not apart. We don't work apart. We work together.